In an age before history, when the earth was still a canvas of smoke and thunder, a young hunter named Kale lived with his tribe, the Aruk. Their world was the deep jungle, a place of towering trees and rivers that flowed like silver veins. For the Aruk, life was a constant song of survival, orchestrated by fire, stone, and the roar of unseen beasts. Kale was a product of this world, strong, quiet, and marked by the scars of endless struggle. His days were spent in the shadows, hunting creatures born from nightmares, saber-toothed cats, great sloths, and giants with horns that scraped the sky. He was a master of his domain, a warrior shaped by necessity. But one day, while tracking prey along the river's edge, his world was forever altered. He found footprints. They were not from his tribe. These were lighter, more delicate, and they led him away from his familiar path into a misty, unknown part of the jungle. Curiosity, a dangerous but powerful force, pulled him forward. He followed the trail until he emerged into a sun-drenched clearing where a waterfall cascaded like a shower of broken stars. And there, bathed in the golden light, he saw her. Her name was Aya. She was from the Murok, a rival clan from beyond the burning hills. She moved with a wary grace, gathering fruit, her focus absolute. Kyle froze. It wasn't just her beauty that held him captive. It was the aura of peace that surrounded her, a tranquility he had never known in his life of constant fear and conflict. In that moment, their eyes met. Two worlds, two tribes, two solitary souls, suddenly connected by a silent, powerful curiosity. They began to meet in secret, drawn back to the same waterfall week after week. They had no shared language, no words to bridge the gap between their tribes. Their communication was a dance of gestures. He would offer her a piece of roasted meat. She would show him which berries were safe to eat. He taught her how to coax fire to life even in a downpour. She showed him the herbs that could soothe a wound. They would trace shapes in the damp earth, trying to explain their worlds, their families, their fears. Their laughter, when it came, echoed through the clearing like the songs of exotic birds, a sound of pure, unburdened joy in a world that rarely allowed it. In the heart of a jungle teeming with predators and ruled by the threat of violent storms, something far more ancient and powerful began to take root between them. It was love, blooming in the most unlikely of gardens. But their bond was a forbidden one, a betrayal in the eyes of their people. It was only a matter of time before their secret was discovered. When it was, the fragile peace of the jungle shattered. War erupted between the Aruk and the Murok. The night sky blazed with the light of warring fires, and the air filled with the cries of battle. Spears flew, and blood was spilled. In the chaos, the lovers were torn apart. Kyle was gravely wounded, left for dead by his own kin who saw his love as a weakness. Aya, branded a traitor, was forced to flee into the wilderness, hunted by the very people she called family. The jungle, once their sanctuary, became a prison of grief and separation. Months passed. The seasons changed, and the violent storms of the wet season returned, washing the land clean. Kyle, though weakened and half-starved, had survived. The fire in his eyes, the same fire Aya had seen at the waterfall, had not been extinguished. It was fueled now by a desperate, unwavering hope. He refused to surrender to his loss. He dragged his wounded body through the dense undergrowth, his resolve hardening with every painful step. He followed the memory of the river, back to the one place that still felt like home, the place where their two worlds had first collided. He returned to the clearing. The waterfall was still there, its song unchanged, a constant melody in a world of turmoil. And there, standing in its misty spray, as if she had never left, was Aya. She was waiting for him. They had both been changed by the ordeal. Their faces were etched with the scars of loss and hardship, their bodies leaner, tougher. But when their eyes met, the same unbreakable connection flared between them, a bond that no tribal war or law could ever sever. That night, beneath the ethereal glow of twin moons, they made a silent promise. It wasn't a promise made with words, for they still had none. It was a promise made in the universal language of touch, of trust, and of shared survival. They were no longer Aruk or Murok. They were simply Kyle and Aya, two souls who had found their own tribe in each other. Together, they built a small, sturdy shelter near the waterfall, hidden away from the warring factions, far from the hatred and fear that had almost destroyed them. Their life became a rhythm dictated by the jungle itself. They hunted together, gathered side by side, and shared their dreams under a canopy of stars. They were completely and utterly alone, yet for the first time in their lives, they were not lonely. Their small shelter became a home, a beacon of peace in a violent world. And in time, their love bore fruit. Their children were born into this sanctuary, carrying the blood of both the Aruk and the Murok. They were the first bridge between two rival peoples, the first seeds of a potential peace, a living testament to their parents' defiance. Their existence was a quiet rebellion, a whisper of hope that a new way of life was possible. Millions of years have passed since Kale and Aya walked the earth. The mountains they knew have eroded, the rivers have carved new paths, and the bones of their world have long since turned to stone. Their story, whispered only through gestures and shared glances, is buried deep beneath millennia of silence. Yet, if you listen closely in the oldest parts of the world, in the heart of the deepest jungles, you can almost hear it. The wind rustling through the leaves, the constant song of a waterfall, they carry the echo of their names. It's a timeless reminder that even in an age ruled by the raw struggle for survival, love could find a way. And that love, against all odds, could give birth to the most powerful force of all, hope. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more tales from the dawn of time. We'll see you in the next one.